What made Jungkook suddenly take off Jimin's ring and throw it away in a moment so abrupt that Jin was left frozen, speechless, unable to process what he had just witnessed. Before we dive into this shocking incident, tell us your theories right now. Comment your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe so you won't miss the next update, because what unfolded in that brief yet explosive second left the entire fandom in chaos and confusion. Everything began with an energy shift so subtle that most people backstage missed it completely. Most except Jin. He was the first to sense that something wasn't right the moment Jungkook walked into the hallway, his shoulders tense, his breathing shallow, his eyes locked on the floor as if he was holding back a storm he didn't want anyone to see. Moments later, Jimin followed behind him with a worried expression that he tried, unsuccessfully, to hide. Jin watched both of them silently, feeling a weight in the air he couldn't quite identify yet. But then it happened. The moment that would send ARMY into a frenzy. The moment videos would replay endlessly. The moment the internet would explode with questions no one had answers to yet. Jungkook stopped walking, turned his head slightly, and in a swift, emotional motion, he pulled off the ring Jimin had given him. Not gently, not thoughtfully, but sharply, as if the ring itself was burning his skin. Jin gasped audibly. He didn't mean to, but the action was so sudden, so intense, so emotionally charged that he couldn't hold back his reaction. Jungkook didn't hesitate. He threw the ring, hard, letting it clatter across the floor before rolling into a shadowed corner backstage. Jimin froze. His eyes widened, his breath hitched, and for a long moment he simply stood there, unable to move or speak. It was as if someone had hit pause on his entire body. The ring wasn't just an accessory. It wasn't just a piece of jewelry. It was something personal, meaningful, symbolic, something shared between the two of them over years of memories, promises, and moments no camera ever capture. Why did Jungkook throw it? Jin's voice broke the silence first. Jungkook, what are you doing? His words trembled between confusion and concern, but Jungkook didn't answer. He didn't look up. He didn't acknowledge the shock he just caused. He simply stood there, fists clenched, chest rising and falling in an irregular rhythm that hinted at the emotional chaos building inside him. Jimin took one step forward, his voice soft, fragile. Jungkook, talk to me. But Jungkook flinched at the sound, turning away with a painful expression that neither Jimin nor Jin had seen on him in a long time. Jin immediately sensed something bigger beneath the surface. Something deeper than frustration or exhaustion. Something that didn't start tonight, but had been building quietly, discreetly, waiting for the wrong moment to erupt. The question replayed in Jin's mind with growing urgency. Why the ring? Why Jimin? Why now? Then, without warning, Jungkook whispered something under his breath. Something so faint Jin barely caught it. I can't wear it anymore. The words shattered Jimin. He blinked rapidly, forcing himself not to break in front of Jungkook, but his breathing trembled enough to expose his feelings. Why? Jimin whispered. Why can't you? Jungkook didn't answer, but his silence spoke louder than anything he could have said. And Jin, who had always been able to read the smallest emotional shifts between the members, suddenly understood that Jungkook wasn't angry at Jimin. He wasn't rejecting him. He wasn't discarding the ring out of resentment. No, this was fear, pressure, emotional overload. Something had pushed him past his limit, and the ring had become the symbol of everything he couldn't handle in that single moment. But Jimin didn't know that yet. He only saw the ring lying abandoned on the ground, the distance widening between them, and Jungkook's heavy silence. The tension between them grew so thick that Jin felt suffocated just standing near it. He stepped forward cautiously, placing a hand on Jungkook's arm.
Talk to us, he said gently.
Tell us what's really happening. Jungkook shook his head. Hyung, I can't. Jimin flinched at the word can't. It wasn't refusal. It was pain. Jungkook, Jimin said, his voice cracking slightly. If I did something wrong, tell me. If something happened, tell me. Don't shut me out. Jungkook clenched his jaw, eyes glassy, with unshed tears. You didn't do anything wrong. Jin's eyes widened. If Jimin didn't do anything wrong, then why the ring? Why the tension? What pushed Jungkook to the point of breaking something so meaningful? He turned to Jimin, but Jimin was already shaking, trying to hold himself together. Then why did you throw it? He whispered. Why would you do that, Jungkook? The hallway fell silent again. So silent that the distant rumble of fans outside felt like thunder vibrating through the walls. Finally, Jungkook exhaled shakily, pressing his hands to his face. I didn't want you to see me break, he said softly. I didn't want you to worry. I didn't want the ring to remind me of how weak I felt today. Jimin's breath caught. Jin closed his eyes briefly, the truth sinking in. Jungkook continued, his voice trembling. Every time I looked at it today, I felt like I was pretending to be okay. And I couldn't stand it. I didn't want you to think I was fine when I wasn't. The words hit Jimin with painful clarity. The ring wasn't the problem. The gesture wasn't rejection. Jungkook wasn't throwing away Jimin or their bond or the meaning behind the ring. He was breaking under the weight of expectations, emotions, and guilt he couldn't express out loud. Jimin's eyes filled with tears. He stepped forward again, this time without hesitation, closing the distance between them. You don't have to pretend with me, he whispered. You never have to pretend, Jungkook. Jungkook shook his head, voice cracking. I didn't want you to see me like that. Jimin placed his hand over Jungkook's trembling one. Then let me stay with you when you're like that. The emotional impact of those words washed over the hallway like a wave. Jin exhaled softly, relief slowly replacing the shock that had consumed him moments earlier. He watched the two younger members silently reconnect through pain, vulnerability, and truth that had been locked away for far too long. The ring still lay on the floor, cold, lonely, symbolic of the emotional storm that had just taken place. Jin walked over to it quietly, picked it up gently, and held it in his palm. He looked at both of them before speaking. This ring isn't just a reminder, Jin said softly. It's a promise. And promises don't break when you feel weak. They stand with you. Jungkook finally met Jin's eyes, and something inside him crumbled. He stepped toward Jimin, resting his forehead against his shoulder, letting the weight of the moment press into something safe, something familiar, something real. Jimin wrapped his arms around him, whispering soothingly, I'm here. I'm right here. You don't have to push me away. Jin placed the ring gently into Jungkook's hand. When you're ready, he said, you can wear it again. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Jungkook nodded slowly, tears finally falling. Jimin held him tighter, anchoring him as his emotions spilled freely for the first time that day. The chaos that began with shock ended with quiet understanding, raw honesty, and a bond that only grew stronger through the storm. Outside, ARMY continued to cheer, unaware of the emotional earthquake unfolding in the hallway. But if they had been there, if they had seen the trembling hands, the breaking voices, the tears held back and the tears finally released, they would have understood why tonight became one of the most unforgettable moments behind the scenes.